I've tried different types of meditation, but I didn't really found any special benefits for it until I've changed the way I do this. So by the end of this video, I want to explain how exactly to meditate to achieve the mental clarity, increase your focus and calmness. That's exactly what helped me. So in the past, I thought that I just have to close my eyes, sit still, and just process all of the incoming thoughts, right? But that was wrong. Think about meditation, like an exercise for your mind, and the goal is to always silence these thoughts. Because you will always get all of the ideas, all of the memories, all of the thoughts. And previously I thought yeah, they're just incoming because my mind is always thinking about these things, right? Like I had an exam, and when I was meditating, I was always getting these ideas about the exam, and I felt okay, answer to this question is X, Y, B, whatever. And I thought that was actually good, but I was doing that for 1 year and haven't really noticed any real changes to my mind that I was preached about. So the way I do this now, essentially very simple. So you just have to sit down in a comfortable position. Can be on the chair, can be on the bed. I love to do this on the bed with having this big pillow under my back. You don't have to cross your legs like you see that people doing in the kung fu movies. Set a timer, whatever you're comfortable with. Maybe start with as little as 5 minutes, get to 20, 30 minutes uninterrupted, and then close your eyes, right? And breathe in slowly through the nose and breathe out slowly through the mouth, like this. Very simple, right? Even a child could do this. And just try to focus all of the time your attention on breathing, right? You can focus that on the nose, you can focus on your lips, you can focus on area between your nose and lips, whatever. And every time when you get an incoming thought, right, that usually happens as I start meditate, that usually happens in 3 seconds, right? I start just getting a thought. And it's like an exercise. You get rid away of that thought and you shift your focus back manually to the same area that you were focusing about. So either your nose, lips, or area between your nose and lips. I just focus on my nose, right? When I breathe in, I focus on my nose. That's what I do. So that is actually how you train your attention, right? I understand it will be very difficult in the beginning, but no, it's just like the gym. When you go to the gym for the first time, you can't bench 100 kilos immediately, right? It takes years. It takes years to do this. So the same with meditation. You will struggle in the beginning. You will think oh, it's not for me. It's quite difficult. But just always push these thoughts away. I've been doing this for I think 2 months now, meditating in this kind of way, and I still sometimes forget to shift my focus back to my nose, and I just get into this train of thoughts that goes uninterrupted for 4 or 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes I remember, goddamn, the whole idea of this meditation is to push back these thoughts and have no thoughts at all, right? Just to focus on one point. With time, trust me, you'll just get better and better at this. And I've also remember I've tried this NSDR or Yoga Nidra. It's also called non-sleep depressed. That's what I've tried before, where it's like a guided meditation, right? You just either sit down or lay down on the bed, and you listen to some weird ass music playing, and some person telling in the audio breathe in, breathe out, focus on your left ear, focus on your right pinky, whatever. I thought that was good, but I didn't it's enjoyable, right? It's easy to do because it's not that boring, but you won't really get much of the benefits from it because you're still focusing on many different things. You're focusing on music, you're focusing on thoughts at all, right? You're focusing on breathing. You're focusing on what the person is saying. You're focusing on what the person is saying to focus on, because the narrator, I think I say it right, like narrator, the person speaking in the guided meditation audio is telling you to like focus on different parts of your body, and that's like, I don't know. I don't think that's the real deal. If you don't sit in a complete silence, right now I'm absolutely blessed being in a complete silence for another probably like 6-7 hours, because my roommate comes really late. If you don't sit in a complete silence, no, you hear like cars driving, someone watching a TV, get on earplugs, man. Really, earplugs are such a great investment, such a high return on investment. You can get them from China for like $1. Reusable, right? Reusable earplugs for $1. I think that's insane. Another pro tip: try to stay consistent with this. What really helped me is to dedicate a specific time block in the day. You know, for me it was like early morning. As soon as I wake up, I take a cold shower. I come right on this chair. I sit down on this chair. My phone is right here on the table, so it's very easy for me to put a timer for 10 minutes. Then at the night, right before going to sleep, I sit down right there by the pillow and put timer again for 10 minutes. So that gives me 20 minutes daily. That's quite nice. That's 140 minutes per week. That's quite nice. That's like 2.5 hours of dedicated meditation. And also doing it before the sleep really improves your sleep overall, like your sleep quality. It's much easier to fall asleep, and the quality overall is much better. So that's a really great pro tip. So main idea here is don't think, right? Don't process any thoughts. Push them away, right? Just push them away. Keep your mind as clear as possible. Have no ideas, no thoughts. Always push them away. I know it will be difficult in the beginning, but trust me, just as like gym, just like any skill, because it is a skill, right? It is skill, it is a muscle, and you have to train it. Put your focus back on breathing. For me, it's just focusing on how my nose inhales the air, and really helps me. And to stay consistent with this, because that's what it's all about. You can meditate for 9 hours in one day, but if you don't do this anymore, it won't really help. I don't think 9 hours is even possible. Dedicate a specific time block in your day. Just make it as easy as possible. As little as 5 minutes per day will actually make a big difference, because I've really noticed like the change in my overall mental clarity and how much I can focus on a single boring task uninterrupted. I think that's an amazing skill to have. I think it's an amazing flex, right, in modern world for young adults and for teenagers who spend 5 hours per day watching TikToks and YouTube Reels. It's kind of insane to have attention span of longer than 7 seconds. That's a great flex. So stay consistent with this stuff.